mean from me to you. We're talking about vegetarianism, while my eyes paint your face and trace a silhouette of your body. What are words when we meet in the street and ask, how are you? While my hands tremble and my stomach tightens. What would happen if we said what we really meant and let the words trickle from our lips as we taste the sweetness?
The Noise Belt by Adam Willendorf. The Americans, the bizarre and often sadistic group of North America, has many peculiarities which modern anthropology has yet to understand. One of these idiosyncrasies from normal human behavior is the Americans' obsession with the Noise Belt, a mysterious shrine found in almost every home in American society. Researchers consider the Noise Belt a crucial part of American culture. The Noise Belt is a cube-shaped box constructed of either metal or plastic, and usually stands about 2 feet tall, 2 feet wide, and 3 feet deep. The focal point of the box, to which an American may remain fixated for hours at a time, is a sheet of glass laid into one face of the cube. When the Noise Belt is not in use, the glass remains dark and opaque, but when activated by an American, either by touching the cube, by waving a magic wand, or in some rare instances with the clapping of the hands, the glass instantly illuminates. Worshippers of the Noise Belt consider the ray of bright light to be holy. Once the Noise Belt is activated, Americans believe that gods travel through space, invisibly mind you, passing through the houses of walls and into the Noise Belt. The gods closely resemble the Americans, but with fewer imperfections, and when they have entered the Noise Belt, their voices can be heard through a small vent in the side of the cube. If one were to put one's ear to the cube, it would sound as though someone were speaking from inside the Noise Belt. Once the gods have entered the Noise Belt, the Americans begin worshiping. This involves going into some sort of hypnotic trance, in which all stimuli, other than the voices and appearances of the gods, are blocked out. Occasionally, the worshipper's eyes will glaze over in a vacant stare, the jaw will drop open, and a bit of drool will run down the cheek. If the message of a particular god becomes dull to the American, the trance is broken. At this point, the American may view a different god on the Noise Belt by pressing a series of buttons arranged symmetrically on the wand. The wand is not yet understood by anthropologists, however, as it is capable of magically causing different gods to appear on the Noise Belt. The wand is very important, however, as it has become evident that when a different group of worshippers are worshiping the Noise Belt at a given moment, those in possession of the wand are of a higher social status than those not in possession. Furthermore, an American male commands more respect from other males if he possesses a larger Noise Belt than the other. Some feel that excess worship of the Noise Belt can be harmful to one's health. Many believe that evil gods draw children to the Noise Belt and attempt to usurp knowledge from younger worshippers. American males who spend excess amounts of time eating while worshiping their Noise Belt develop enlarged abdomens and somewhat dulled intelligence. Science does not yet have a name for this phenomenon, but in the American tongue, it is called a sophomelon.
Our Burden by Lisa Kaplan. This silly in-between world could last forever. I close my eyes for peaceful clarity. I'm in an iron lung. Breaths of miscommunication nod my teaching heaven. The nice children bloody their knees on the rough mortar. I remarked to a friend that, obviously, it is too late to knock these walls down. So why not smooth the mortar? But that would be a lie. Maybe I'll throw down some ladders, dangling like ambiguities, or falling just short of the opening. Fluid rungs invite some curious strangers inside, but they'll have to leave, embracing the mystery.
Snow by Marissa Casriel. Your bright pink cheeks curl up into light as you flash me a mischievous smile while you slave away trying to form your snowball into a perfect sphere. I turn to flee, yet with my frozen toes and soggy sneakers, I am not agile enough to dodge your pitch. I catch an icy shot in the back of my head. I turn in false fury and race to tackle you. You tumble to the frozen floor, producing the outlines of distorted angels who have fallen from the heaven to to their doom in the fresh December snow.
Grandma by Heather Gorman. At the funeral, I can't help but cry. It's embarrassing with my brother dry-eyed. The rabbi talks about the bookmarks Grandma would make. Her sister seems to crumble under her sadness. In hushed voices, family and friends try to comfort her. I hug her. Small and slow, grandfather cannot lift the first shovel of dirt that will cover her. His daughter helps him in a too loud, abrasive voice. Then in her turn, she vigorously scoops the dirt from the pile, and as she exuberantly flings it onto the coffin, she shouts, "Goodbye, Mom." I imagine Grandma pressing the flowers between the pages of thick books her eyes are no longer able to read. We never see her, how? Not letting the fragile, transparent petals break, she carefully arranges them on construction paper, faded evenly with the flowers and her skin. As anonymously as she makes them, she mails them to those she loves. In her kitchen, fake red leather covers the thin cushions of the chairs. For her two short grandchildren, she has a similar step stool. Snapping the silver lever, she removes a carton of eggs from the old icebox. My brother plays with the owl salt shaker, and I with the pepper while she scrambles eggs. The same eggs my brother says are the best in the world, my mother thinks are burned by eyes unable to see. While she washes the breakfast dishes, my brother and I play with matchbox cars and green plastic boats she keeps for us in the bottom drawer. On tiptoes, I grab a windmill cookie from the counter. She keeps them there just for us. When she sees me taking one, her gentle, smiling eyes curve the rigid crow's under weary lids. I hold Grandma's tissue paper hands close to my cheek. While we walk, her crumpled voice tells stories about her children. The sidewalk leads to a beach, and she encourages me to play by the water while she sits on a bench in the shade. On the shore, silvery scales gleam around hollow eye sockets of dead alewives. I pretend to play in the sand so she will take me here again. With the gratitude, I hear Grandma call, saying it's time to go home. Dad drives Grandma, Grandpa, and me to the dry cleaners to pick up clothes for my brother's bar mitzvah. Grandma's shoulders hunched together, her hands fold over her legs, and she picks at her skirt. I go with her into the store, and as she gets out of the car, she regains the smile that softens the lines around her eyes and mouth. We walk slowly. She's still taller than I, and her legs are still longer, but she's in no rush to get back. In the store, the papery voice sweetly greets, "How are you?" The woman behind the counter smiles. Looking at the ticket, the attendant says, "Gorman, my, that's an interesting name. Where does it come from?" "Oh, it was Italian, but when my husband's parents came to America, they just changed it somehow. I can't quite remember. They Americanized it." "Oh, really? Here you are. Thanks for coming and have a nice day." "You too, dear." At her apartment, a menorah sits with 3 lighted candles dripping in the middle of the table. Grandma hunches over. Pans and dishes tremble on their journey from the kitchen to the dining room table. She takes care of the cooking and the conversation. But tonight, while she's in the kitchen, Dad and Grandpa argue. A blind old man stands, leaning his fists into the table, and orders in a deep, authoritative voice. A younger man stands too, with upturned hands and a high, questioning voice. When she comes back to the dining room, Grandma lets the dish she carries fall, and bending down, she leans against the doorway. She squeezes her eyelids, her forehead furrows. Through her fingers, she repeats, "Stop it, just stop it." "Ma, you look lovely," says the voice from the hospital bed. Aunt Adele and Cousin Stephanie sit around her. Their bodies fill up the extra space, making Grandma seem less helpless and small. Since she could not come this morning, I bring my bat mitzvah to her, twirling around in my flowered dress and reciting my Torah portion. You know, your aunt was almost in a beauty contest when she was little. You look just like her. She says her mazel tovs and I open presents at her feet. I hold up a check for $18. Grandma calls out, like. After dinner, Great Aunt Shirley brings up a cardboard box from her basement and places it in front of my brother. Since Grandma's dead, she walks a little slower and laughs a little less. She likes to talk about her sister. She uncovers the box and folds back the tissue paper that protects Grandma's wedding pictures. Look, she says, pointing to a man with delicate, almost sculpted features. Your grandfather was real handsome then. I look at the wedding picture for a long time, while she tells little anecdotes about the ceremony. The hint of a playful smile that I knew was much stronger in this young face. Aunt Shirley says this is the picture she looks at to remember Grandma. There are no recent pictures in the box to remember her as I saw her, only a faint scent of dried flowers from the bouquet.
Berlin, said Mr. Winkler. We must disable their force, strength in a madman's eyes, fight a steel hand, and human consequences. We took all that they had, bombshells they scattered about the ground, and musty carrots from the soil of radiation. A 5-year-old boy stands to witness the brutality. Later, he returns to bring his American daughter to a bombed-down church, which resounds with clarity as if to say, look at what we did, and remember. A cobblestone road awaits their footsteps, a brisk click of his heels, and she falls into place. On his side, she faces the wall.
Bare Feet by Naomi Isaac. We run down to the stream where we throw off our clothes and jump in. Cool water envelops us on this hot day in July, and we laugh and play and are pure. We leave all shriveled, too wet to put clothes on. The grass beneath our feet provides a cushion for tag. I tag you first as we run, over the fields, over the rocks. The rocks pierce the soles of our feet. We race over them, darting over hot coals. We pretend to be squirrels scampering up a tree, and the rough bark marks lines on our unprotected skin. We roll naked down a hill. Barefooted, we run to the river, and bare-bodied, we swim to the other side. Our faces gleam as our senses awaken. They've been stifled for too long, and are now eager to take control. To our feet, the grass is a cushion, although it manages to prick us with its hidden points. On the sand, we leave footprints, as we dig our toes down deep until they won't go any further. We make sand angels, and I bury you until your face is no longer visible. You break free and pull me into the water. One last swim. Then the sun begins to set, and we lie down beneath a tree. I nestle in your arms, and we fall asleep, waiting to dry off.
Amanda by Brooke Jackson. I remember her red-orange hair, always in braids. She was short and stocky. We made fun of her. 4th graders don't play with Barbie dolls. One day, she peed in her pants. We laughed. We were children then. We were cool. I remember trying to be her friend. She didn't want to be mine, so I joined in with the others, dancing around her in circles, laughing until she cried. Then one day, she was gone. Her grandmother fell asleep at the wheel. Amanda's head smashed into the car radio. Her orange hair stained red. We visited the cemetery as a class. The ignorant boys jumped on the earth above her to be funny. Every day after school, I would visit her grave. One day, I brought her a new Barbie doll. It was too late for apologies and too late for forgiveness. I will always remember her. I'll always remember her.
Untitled goes next word. We of the feather, happy fall. We of the ghosts, gladiated goodness. We of the soft heart's harmony, you called up to search for your ghost. Humble, homely, unrecognized, strung out. We canceled the return for happiness, the anxiety of better days. Mornings without hangovers, barroom rides, drunken fools, numbness. The fall of our religions, the inevitable.
We conquered the world ages ago and drank whiskey through scalding iron canteens and the crying forest, whining for rain like a mad dog, like a loud, swirling, forgotten Indian dance, disappearing into the desert sands, drowning in the oasis rain. We held the music in our pockets and kept the change. We cried on these cycled, sorrowful nights. We lay drunk in our beds, falling forever, into the pit, into the epitome, into the night. We fell, and were not saved.
Night music, I mean music. The night makes its own music. Beautifully it echoes in my ears, penetrating my thoughts, leaving no room for silence. It fills me up with its mute shrieks of delight that tell a story not meant for my ears. I see the images that scare me in my dreams. I feel the tension that crawls in through my toes, up my thighs, pounding at my spine. My heart takes on a new rhythm as it adjusts to the pace of my racing imagination. My creative energy has gone wild in its most destructive way. I succumb to its power as I lose control of my thoughts. I've become a helpless wretch as I sink in the muck of my pitiful fear. With each second, I fall deeper into my trap. With each second, I lose more of my reality. With each second, my heart beats quicker as the night music plays on.
The Stolen World by Marisa Cadriel. Number 1, the bathroom. The odor of amoxicillin fills the air. Dodging the mist and hairspray, she gets to a stall. Nobody notices her. She slips in. The tan graffiti door closes softly. She flips the latch. Her head rests on the cold metal wall. She closes her eyes tightly until they begin to ache. She inhales the sweet smell of disinfectant. Her fists clench and she softly pounds a roll of toilet paper. She reaches for the latch. The door swings open, and as her figure comes into view, she lets out a loud, deep scream. She runs at the spectators, sending her right leg off, successfully breaking a mirror. She kicks a medium-sized piece of glass down the hall as she returns to her Spanish class. Number 2, room 2120. Outside the windows, the sun glistens off the February snow. With his pen, he turns the 60% written on his quiz to an 89. On a piece of notebook paper, he traces his hand in pencil, carefully outlining his fat fingers. A song races around his head. He stands up and begins to sing. The entire honors English class turn their heads to stare at him. 3 girls begin to laugh. The teacher looks interrupted. He picks up his notebook and on his way to the door, places a quiz on her desk. Number 3, the courtyard. The sun sets over the satellite dish as she pushes the heavy glass door open. She pauses to take a deep breath of air and walks as she unzips her coat. She hears the birds singing in the trees. She sits on the red bench. With her finger, she traces over the 86 carved into the wood. She stares at her reflection in a puddle of muddy water. She takes out her report card and her calculator. She averages her GPA twice. Both times the boxy outcome is 5.27. Without clearing the screen, she throws her calculator into the trees. The sun dives down over her right shoulder as she smiles calmly while watching the birds madly scatter.
Yellow by Marisa Cadriel. The yellow glow of the low-watt light bulb dances across your face, making jagged shadows upon your profile. I hear your pen madly scratching illegible words on the back of a sheet of loose-leaf paper. You are so focused that you're able to ignore the roar of the passing 11 o'clock train. You pause to look outside, and then continue to write vigorously, as if the blackness which lurks outside is your muse. I sit back and watch you in amazement, so thankful you are here. And then together, we can share the warm, yellow light.
Metamorphosis of a Child by Becky Levy. One last wish as I walk into the cold. My legs are getting weary and my mind is getting old. This wish, a sacred harbor for my double's deepest dreams. It burns into my heart, making charred uneven streams. Permanent ruts for my tears to travel through, made by crystal entities as delicate as dew. My wish, floating further now, I cannot bring it back, nor can I turn around, nor unpack my heavy sack. My dreams are washed from under me, as up the stream I row. Why should I be so sad when it was my choice to go?
Impact by Aaron Stromberg. Train rumbles on, through the night, through the rain. I stare blankly out my window, oblivious to the thunderclaps which assault my ears. I'm greeted by my reflection in the rain-streaked glass. Eye to eye, I face myself. I turn away enveloped by a pain with no name. Train soon enters a tunnel. Darkness. Voices in my head, screaming, "Get up, damn it! Fight, it's not too late." How can I fight an enemy with no face? The fat woman next to me laughs heartily, mocking my pain. My tears flow freely. I rub at my eyes in a vain attempt to exorcise my demons. And then I see it. A light. The light. It's bright for nighttime. Closer and closer. Fast. Oh God. Oh God, oh God. Impact! The last sound I hear is a scream. Mine.
To Wuzzle is to mix, by Marisa Casriel. Blue cheese dressing, served with wine in a cafeteria school line, to fifth graders who dine on pimento loaf on bread, or Swiss cheese instead. And all the children rejoice when the lunch lady's voice tells them stories about hairnets, and how she once got beer nuts stuck up her nose. And now she writes prose because she lives alone in her flat with her cat named Raoul. And somebody thought that it was cool that John shaves his legs, and at lunchtime he begs for the pickle in your beets, and he seldom eats. Although he always raves about the microwaves, which have 2 settings of heat for those who like their meat hot or cold, new or old, or with salad dressing with mold, which is what blue cheese dressing really is.
Thank you very much. We hope you enjoyed this edition of Masterpiece Theater. Please remember, if you want to be involved next year, whether you want to write, which is submitting, or you want to do crew, or you want to coach, please get